All eyes on Melissa. As expected right now, it's not well organized. That's good, but that is about to change. With that said, already the heavy rain moving into spots, and we're going to see more and more of that over the next few days. Haiti, especially the southern peninsula, life-threatening flooding. Please take preparations best you can. Spread the word if you can about this. Now is the most critical time, as I've been mentioning, before it moves in, but now we're starting to see some of the heavier rain right across the Dominican Republic, even back toward Puerto Rico. With that said, this looks to move closer to Jamaica. Jamaica, we need to make hurricane preparations. We need to continue those hurricane preparations, and we need to get them done over the next 2 days. Today.
Good morning, good afternoon, wherever you are listening, watching from around the world. Please stand by for a live press conference from Jamaica House on the preparation of Tropical Storm Melissa. What we are gathering, it may become a major hurricane before the end of the day into tomorrow. So stand by for a live press conference from Jamaica House.
And tomorrow. Now, there is a slight chance this all stays to the east, but it is more and more likely that this will be very close to us in Jamaica. So it is just simply wise at this point to make those hurricane preparations, and those hurricane preparations in Jamaica need to be done by late tomorrow, because if this moves in and moves closer, it is going to be very strong as it's nearby. And that means we could have hurricane impacts as soon as this weekend, late Saturday into Sunday, and some of this could last into next week. So the window has closed as far as kind of waiting and seeing. There is still uncertainty, and I trust your judgment. There is still a slight chance. There's a good model that shows this just riding right through Hispaniola, but most of the indications are this will be very close to Jamaica in just a few days. So we really have no choice at this time but to get those preparations done for a hurricane and for life-threatening flooding, and have those done by late tomorrow. Now, Cuba and the Cayman Islands, in the video later today, if this looks like still this is going to be very close to Jamaica, we'll flip over from monitor mode to action mode. So parts of Cuba and the Cayman Islands, we may need to eventually take action. And the same thing down the road, the southern Bahamas and the Turks and Caicos. But again, the high concern of the flooding in through here, you see these cloud tops that continue to work in. Haiti, across the Dominican Republic, on the far reaches of it, Puerto Rico. I've been mentioning, while we're not going to have a direct hit, the rain is going to increase. That's exactly what we're seeing. In Jamaica, it's going to be kind of waiting in some spots, but just gradually building, especially as we work our way into eastern sections as the day goes on. But at this point, the window for preparation time is closing, so we need to make those preparations and have them done by tomorrow evening. Now, here is the most likely path. I'll show you the scenarios. Again, there's still a slight chance that all of this were to stay to the east, but that is becoming less likely. By Friday and Saturday, so tomorrow into Saturday, this should go from a tropical storm into a hurricane and then be very close to Jamaica as we work our way into Sunday. So I'll be able to break down more of the specifics in as we go over the next few days, and of course over the next few videos, especially the video later today. We're going to zoom down even more so into Jamaica so long I start to see this turning. I'm still kind of waiting for that. I'm waiting for this one model, the American model, to see kind of what that does throughout. But you know, I don't just look at the models, I look at what's going on in the atmosphere. But this puts a hurricane very close, just south or along the south coast of Jamaica, Sunday into Monday, and then it could kind of swing it back, which I'm about to show you. If this moves toward Jamaica, conditions are more conducive for development. If this swings back toward Haiti, it'll be more in the way of just really, I don't want to say just, but extreme rain. But either way in Haiti, we've gotten the word out, right? So regardless, we know that we're going to get a ton of rain in Haiti, especially along the southern peninsula. The Dominican Republic, we've been getting the word out, and Puerto Rico, we're going to also have some of that flooding. So with that said, you could see the problem here with some of the models. Models are very helpful. They're not everything, but they're very helpful. The American model, the GFS, takes this up as a strong tropical storm or a hurricane just over the next couple days in Haiti and the Dominican Republic. That's not going to catch us by surprise because the greatest threat for Hispaniola has always been the rain. It's still going to rain regardless of where the track goes, and that rain is going to be life-threatening. So again, please, if you can, just spread this information to get the word out. Regardless of the track, in Haiti and the Dominican Republic, intense rain is coming, especially with a focus along the southern peninsula of Jamaica. We swing back towards, say, Boston Blue, over toward Jacmel. The European model, which is more in line with the other models as well, brings this very close to Jamaica, and again, a slow mover, and it could be days and days of tropical storm or hurricane conditions. If this happens, and this is a very bad scenario because it kind of may go just around Jamaica. And with that, not missing Jamaica, that just means days and days of rain, which would be a potential. So with that said, what does this mean for Jamaica? If we're looking at the European model this weekend, that means we'd have a hurricane, the core of it just to the south. But these are large systems. So you see the symbol here. That doesn't mean there isn't anything here. It sweeps in those strong rain bands. So if the European model is right, we'd have winds of 60 miles or 100 kilometers an hour and life-threatening flooding as we work our way through the weekend, Saturday into Sunday. These winds will be even stronger if the European model is right? And I trust your judgment that we're going to have some changes. One of these models is going to be very wrong. We know that already. But based on what I'm seeing in the environment, this is a little bit more likely. These winds could be underdone along our southern and eastern coast, which means the winds could be even stronger than this as we get our way into Sunday. So that's why we need to prepare. Now with that, if the European model is right, it'll be very close to us this weekend and then eventually hook around next week. So this would be a very bad scenario because it would be a long duration event. And then this could be a very powerful hurricane on top of Jamaica, just to the west of Jamaica. We'll see. I'm not sure yet if this hurricane is going to be west, on top, or east. Again, that's just how it stands now. Some systems are very easy to forecast. I mean, we're looking into the future. It's very difficult. But this scenario with the fronts up to the north, which I'll show you, it's just very difficult. So I thank you for your understanding and patience with this. But if the European model is right, that means we'd have the hurricane conditions. It should just stay hurricane conditions here.
For those who are just joining us, welcome to the program. We are standing by to join a live press conference from Jamaica House. But in the meantime, we have the 11 o'clock advisory. That's the 11 o'clock advisory on hurricane and tropical storm Melissa.
This is Make We Talk breaking news.
This is the 11 o'clock advisory as we stand by to join a live press conference from Jamaica House. The 11 o'clock advisory on tropical storm Melissa. It's 10 o'clock in Jamaica, it's 11 o'clock in the United States. So it's a 11 o'clock advisory here in the United States on tropical storm Melissa. At 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on October 3rd, 2025, tropical storm Melissa was located in the Caribbean Sea, about 240 miles south-southeast of Kingston, Jamaica, with maximum sustained winds at 50 miles an hour. It is moving west-northwest at 3 miles an hour, and expected to bring heavy rain and life-threatening flooding in some parts of Jamaica. Here we have it. The storm is forecast to strengthen into a hurricane in the next couple of days and will become a major hurricane by the weekend. So there you have it. Tropical storm Melissa is in the Caribbean Sea at about 240 miles south-southeast of Kingston, Jamaica, with maximum sustained winds at 50 miles an hour It is moving west-northwest at 3 miles an hour. It's expected to bring heavy rain and life-threatening flooding in some parts of Jamaica. The storm was forecast to strengthen, or is forecast to strengthen into a major hurricane in the next couple of days and could become a major hurricane by this weekend. So the storm is 240 miles south-southwest of Kingston, Jamaica, and 300 miles southwest of Port-au-Prince, Haiti. It is moving at 50 miles an hour. It's moving very slow. And when it moves slow, it is going to develop. So that's what is going on. It's developing. And, you know, we hope and pray that our sisters and brothers back home will take heed. This thing is not looking good for the island of Jamaica. And as we stand by to hear the press conference from Jamaica House, the press conference will start anytime soon. We will bring it to you live. I know the live feed is freezing up because of, I don't know what's going on. The weather system, it is a bit breezy over here in South Florida, a bit sunny, but I think the effect of it is happening to us here also in South Florida. So please bear with us. It is nothing to do with the Mecwi Talk program. It is freezing up because of the weather system. So there you have it, the 11 o'clock advisory from the National Hurricane Center in Miami. On October 23rd, 2025, Tropical Storm Melissa was located 240 miles south-southeast of Kingston, Jamaica, with maximum sustained winds at 50 miles an hour. It is moving west-northwest at 3 miles an hour and expected to bring heavy rains and life-threatening flooding to parts of Jamaica and Hispaniola. The storm is forecast to strengthen into a hurricane in the next couple of days and could become a major hurricane by the weekend. So Jamaicans, please take heed. Please take heed as we stand by to join this live press conference from Jamaica House to hear what they're saying, what preparation they have for the people, and if the gullies that are cleaned, and majority of the time the government clean the gully, and those who live on the gully bank, they are the one who dump all kind of things in the gully bank, in the gully. But you know, we need to be very careful of what we're doing. At the end of the day, it's our money spending. It's not Andrew Holness money spending, it's our taxpayer money spending. So what we will do, we will go back to the last weather forecast until they're ready for us at Jamaica House. We'll go back to Jamaica House as soon as they're ready for us. So let's go over back to the weather report that is coming into us. But based on what we have here from the National Hurricane Center in Miami, that as at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, Tropical Storm Melissa was located 240 miles south-southeast of Kingston, Jamaica, with maximum sustained winds at 50 miles an hour. It is moving west-northwest at 3 miles an hour and is expected to it's expected to bring heavy rains and life-threatening flooding in parts of Jamaica and Hispaniola. The storm is forecast to strengthen into a hurricane in the next couple of days and could become a major hurricane by this weekend. So there you have it. Jamaicans and the people of Haiti and Hispaniola, especially Jamaica, Haiti, and the Cayman Islands, must brace themselves for this. Jamaicans, do not take this thing lightly. It is something serious, and we must take this as serious as we get it. as serious as we can, because many of us will say, "Chon, now come. Government will spend money. Government don't build hurricanes." And although many of us may not like what the government is doing, but we have to take heed. We have to take heed. So it is now 11, 12, 10, 12, 11, 13, 12, 13, 11, 13, 10, 13 in Jamaica. We are going to bring you a live press conference from Jamaica House. As soon as our press conference gets underway, we will bring it to you live. But in the meantime, just stand by for the live press conference.
Threatening flooding would continue. That's one of the issues this weekend into next week. That is a massive issue. Regardless of the winds, the flooding would just continue, and then the winds would be upwards of 100 miles per hour or 160 kilometers an hour. But if the European model is right, it is showing a much stronger system, which could have winds upwards of 130, 150 miles per hour. That's not out of the question, because again, most of the indications, as I mentioned, as this moves closer to Jamaica, if it's that path, if it's not going to Haiti, if it's coming near Jamaica,
Melissa. Yesterday we had a very good briefing, and today we're going to have another good one. I have to acknowledge those who are in the room and who are joining us online. And I start with the Honorable Desmond McKenzie, Minister of Local Government and Community Development, who is online. He is also the Deputy Chair of our National Disaster Risk Council. We also have with us the Honorable Darrell Vaz, Minister of Energy, Telecoms and Transportation. We have the Honorable Matthew Samuda, Minister of Water, Environment and Climate Change. We also have the Honorable Christopher Tufton, Minister of Health and Wellness. The Honorable Abka Fitz-Henley, Minister of State in the Office of Prime Minister. Senator Marlon Morgan, Parliamentary Secretary in the Ministry of Education, Skills, Youth and Information. We also have Mr. Richard Thompson, who is the Acting Director General of ODPEM, who is on way. We have PS, Dr. Kassan Troop, PS in the Ministry of Education. We also have Mr. Rohan Brown from the Met Service and Evan Thompson, who will be joining online. We have lots of representatives from various ministries, agencies of government, and also the private sector. I know in the room we have JPS, we have NWC, we have Flow, we have the Airport Authority, we have Petrojam, we have JUTC. I may have left off some, but I'll tell you as we go along who is also here. So members of the media, we acknowledge you for coming out. Jamaicans at home and abroad, good morning again to you all. We are going to be getting some updates very soon. Since our last presser, which we had yesterday, a lot of things have changed. You'd have seen the updates this morning where we were upgraded to our tropical storm warning and a hurricane watch. You would have also seen a notice that out of an abundance of caution, we did move our classes and our schools to the remote environment. And so those are two key updates so far. The agencies of government have been working, and you will hear all about that this morning. The Met Service, usually we start with them, but they had an important meeting with the National Hurricane Center. So we're going to change the order. Usually we start with the forecast, but this morning we're going to be starting with Minister Tufton, who is going to give us an update from the Ministry of Health standpoint. They're very, very important in the preparedness and also in the response mechanism of government. And so we'll have Minister Tufton first. When he is finished, we expect that the Met Service team will be ready by that time, and we will have them and Minister Samuda. And then after that, we will have Minister Vaz come to you. So first up is Minister Tufton. Good morning, Minister.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Minister. And let me just welcome and recognize my colleague ministers in the audience who have been mentioned before. members of the civil service group, including my own permanent secretary, Errol Green. And I also have with us our head of the emergency services and health, Dr. Dawkins Wright, who is prepared to elaborate on any specifics related to our preparedness. So I'll give you an update on our plans and what the possible impact of the storm is likely to have on the health services. So we do anticipate, even though we hope not, that given what is being projected, that there will be some disruption in our health services, interruption of supply chains, including for medications, the possibility of injuries from wind damage, debris, and falling trees, the risk of waterborne or vector-borne diseases from flooding and stagnant water, challenges to our most vulnerable, among them people living with chronic diseases, the elderly, persons with disabilities, pregnant women, and children. So there's likely to be an impact on the entire society or entire lives, and we need to prepare for that. The Emergency Operation Center is now fully activated within the Ministry of Health and Wellness. It's a 24-hour center which keeps in touch with all the collaborating agencies and mans from that space the response that is required throughout the country. And that is up and running. We continue to prepare our efforts across the island, and we have had a number of consultations over the past number of days with the regional health authorities and other stakeholders. So these are some of the specifics. All public hospitals will now enter emergency mode. This means that while hospitals remain open, outpatient services and elective surgeries will be suspended for the time being to focus on the emergencies. Visitations will be limited, and family members are asked to pick up their relatives who have been admitted for non-critical reasons, and the respective hospitals will reach out to those family members. We have to reserve bed space just in case we need them for emergencies. In terms of health centers, we remain open until 4 p.m. today. A further update on our health centers will be provided tomorrow. So up to 4 p.m., you can access health centers across the country. We have 325 across the country. In terms of the system readiness, there are approximately 116 priority facilities, 25 hospitals, and 91 type 3 to 5 health centers. A verification exercise has been conducted with key capacity indicators, which include the following: human resources, some 702 personnel identified and are on standby across parishes for emergency response activation. All assessed facilities have documented staff welfare measures in place. So we have personnel in place. Secondly, command and control, 100% of priority facilities have established identifiable command centers to coordinate emergency response operations with clearly defined roles and responsibilities. Backup power systems, 75% of priority facilities have functional backup electricity systems, generators with fuel reserves, capable of sustaining power for some 72 hours post-disaster. And the generator project has equipped some 21 primary care facilities, increasing the total to 60 facilities across the country. This is for primary care, the health centers. Medical gas and supplies, 100% of priority facilities have sufficient medical gas supplies, estimated to last some 72 hours. Strategic stockpiles of medications and medical consumables have been verified and are maintained at a minimum 72-hour level. Infection prevention and control, 100% of priority facilities have been documented infection prevention and control protocols and system visibly in place. Transportation fleet, 87% of priority facilities reported having fully functional transportation or vehicles fleet for emergency response and patient support. Communication capacity, 75 UHF radio systems available for mobile response teams based on radio check. JICA emergency communication project is in operation in some areas as of July 2025. Starlink backup communication system have been tested in Western region for enhanced redundancy. So we are putting in and have put in communication systems to be able to communicate if there are disruptions in normal channels. Surge capacity, hospital inpatient capacity of approximately 5,000 beds, 20 operating theater units, 19 emergency rooms across the public system. And there are plans for the rapid redeployment of mobile response teams if required. And there's one functioning field hospital, which is currently being deployed at the Maypen Hospital. Multi-sectoral coordination, parish hospital and National Health Disaster Committee meetings have been convened. The Water Sanitation and Hygiene Coordination Committee has been established and engaged with partner agencies, including agencies that are here, the NWC, UNICEF, Food for the Poor, JDF, and the NWA. I want to just use the opportunity, having given these specifics, to encourage Jamaicans to work with us to ensure their safety and good health during this period. Ensure that you have at least 72 hours of essentials in a storm-ready kit, somewhere that it can keep dry, okay? And storm-ready kit is sophisticated sounding, but it could be a plastic bag. Ensure that you include in this non-perishable food. Spoiled food can be a source of serious health concerns if you have no light and your refrigerator goes down. So the tin stuff, right? And other non-perishable foods. Water is essential because waterborne diseases tends to be the logical consequence after a storm. Medications, flashlight, battery-powered radio, and extra batteries. So it's important that the public take the next number of hours to prepare themselves. If you have chronic illnesses like diabetes, hypertension, kidney disease, respiratory ailments, ensure that you have your medicines and know how to take them if services are disrupted. And we do encourage persons to communicate with their health provider in anticipation of the possibility of disruption. So whatever clarity they need, they can get before. We also would like to say and encourage you to stay tuned to updates. And I'm sure there may be the Met Service and ODPM and so on that will give updates, but the Ministry of Health will also provide updates as necessary, and the extent to which you can get those updates from main media, traditional media, or otherwise you should. However, my closing remark is that be also cautious around the social media communication and ensure that it comes from sources that are credible. In disasters, we tend to get a lot of misinformation. Everybody's an expert, and we could create confusion in that way. So we discourage those who would like to be an expert, but no, they are not, from communicating unless they're absolutely sure. And we certainly encourage the public to stay tuned to the recognized and authoritative sources around this. Thank you very much, and we wish all a safe passage through this storm.
Thank you very much, Minister Tufton. And I know that his permanent secretary is here, Errol Green. I acknowledge you, permanent secretary in the Ministry of Health and Wellness, and he is also going to be staying to answer some of the questions at the end. So we have a lot of updates to get through, and the man of the moment, usually you're used to seeing Evan Thompson, but today we have a really wonderful person from the Met Service, Rohan Brown, who will be the one that will be providing the update. And so he will be coming to do his presentation. And after that, we will have Minister Samuda coming forward also. So please welcome Rohan Brown from the Met Service, a new voice for us here. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone, and thank you, Minister Morris Dixon. At this time, the Meteorological Service continues to closely monitor Tropical Storm Melissa, which has shown a slight increase in forward speed, but remains a slow-moving system across the central Caribbean waters. Now, for those tracking as of 10 a.m., the center of Tropical Storm Melissa was located in latitude 15.5 degrees north, 74.9 degrees west, or about 215 miles southeast of Kingston, Jamaica. The system is moving slowly towards the northeast near 7 kilometers per hour, and maximum sustained winds are up to 75 kilometers per hour with higher gusts. Now, we have gone from a tropical storm watch to a warning because tropical storm conditions are likely within 36 hours within the Jamaica area. And we have also gone to a hurricane watch because hurricane conditions of 119 kilometers or more in terms of wind speed are likely over Jamaica over the next 48 hours. Now, little strength in forecast is expected over the next day or so. But what is interesting, we just had a discussion with the National Hurricane Center, and coming out of that is that Melissa could become a major hurricane sitting south of Jamaica on the weekend. And that, of course, is something that we have to pay special attention to. Generally, in terms of the impacts, we're expecting significant rainfall amounts that could cause localized flooding and landslides, especially over low-lying and flood-prone areas due to Melissa, and of course, the antecedent conditions of the heavy rainfalls over the last couple of weeks, which would allow the soils to be very wet or saturated at most. And strong gusty winds are likely in terms of tropical storm winds over Jamaica Friday into the weekend. And as such, we have gone for the tropical storm warning, and the hurricane conditions are likely on Saturday, and therefore we have gone for a hurricane watch as well. Marine interest should expect widespread showers and thunderstorms accompanied by tropical storm force winds today and continuing into the weekend. Winds reaching hurricane strength are likely on Saturday, particularly over southern and eastern offshore areas. And of course, we're advising that all marine operators, including fishers on the quays and banks, should have by now be in port, and we're urging them to complete their necessary safety precautions without delay. At this point, it is important for the public to understand that the system is still evolving. And because it's evolving, while it remains a tropical storm, any change in the forward speed and the structure could alter the expected impacts for Jamaica. Therefore, we urge everybody to be vigilant, to keep monitoring official updates from the Met Service, and of course, to stay tuned to the Meteorological Service, your source of information. We continue to provide updates every 3 hours as necessary, and in coordination with the National Hurricane Center in Miami, the Ministry of Water, Environment, and Climate Change, the Office of Disaster Preparedness and Emergency Management, and other responsible agencies, we are coordinating for this storm. In our profession, we always pray and hope for the best, but we always plan for the worst. So in this case, we are praying that God will protect and bless Jamaica land we love, and we are going to plan and prepare for this storm. Thank you, Minister.
All right, you heard it. That's the update. We're going to switch order a little bit and have Minister Darrell Vaz now come to give the update. And I saw Digicel in the audience now too. So they are also going to be available to take your questions at the end. So even if you don't hear them give an update, they are all here. Everybody that I announced is here to take questions. Welcome, Minister Vaz.
Morning, ladies and gentlemen, colleague ministers, PSs, and of course, heads of agencies and partners. So the Ministry of Energy, Telecommunications and Transport cover a number of essential services, which I know there are questions that are being asked. So I'm going to give an overview. We have heads of agencies here. We also have president of JPS and others that are here, Digicel and Flow, Stephen Price, who is here from Digicel. Okay, and Digicel, which are critical stakeholders in times of emergencies such as this. So as the country continues to prepare for Tropical Storm Melissa, Ministry of Energy, Transport and Telecommunications has been working closely with our utility providers, transport entities and telecommunication providers to ensure a coordinated national state of readiness. I'm going to leave JPS for last. And I'm happy to see my good friend Hugh Grant here. So let us start with Petrojam. We have activated all refinery emergency systems and confirmed sufficient fuel supplies. Over 2 weeks worth of refined products and 10 days of LPG following the storm. Loading facilities in Kingston and Montego Bay will extend hours to support pre-storm deliveries, and Jamaica Aircraft Refueling Services, JARS, is fully stocked with jet fuel and aviation gasoline to ensure continuous aircraft refueling. Flow Jamaica has fully activated its crisis management system with support from local and regional teams. Power resilience has been strengthened with over 61% of mobile sites now having backed up power and 143 new generators installed island-wide. All generators are refueled and serviced and field teams are mobilized. Company's emergency operations center is active and the public can reach the center for emergencies at 876-929-9834. I'll repeat that, 876-929-9834 and 876-929-9837. That's 876-929-9837. Digicel has formed a dedicated disaster response core team to ensure continuous operations during the storm. Company has strengthened communication redundancy with satellite phones and backup connectivity through other providers. All network sites, towers, and facilities have been structurally inspected and generators confirmed to be up and running condition. Essential spare parts are secured locally and overseas, and mobile cell sites are ready for rapid deployment to restore service. Digicel has also conducted safety training and weather simulation drills to enhance preparedness and technical response. Transport, Jamaica Urban Transit Company, JUTC, will maintain regular bus operations as long as conditions are safe to do so. Service updates will be shared via social media and public channels. 30 buses are designated for emergency deployment across depots in Portmore, Spanish Town, Rockfort, and Montego Bay. Each depot has activated an emergency operations committee, and the JUTC representatives are embedded in national and parish emergency centers for coordinated response. All depots, fuel stations, and assets have been secured, and the company is prepared to support evacuation and transport efforts if needed. Montego Bay Metro, Western Transport Operations, remains fully operational and will continue to provide service as long as weather conditions allow. Toll Authority, highway operators, very important. Highway operators are now on alert to respond to any emergency direction that the minister may issue when it becomes necessary, which means that if the storm or the hurricane is creating panic and the highways are congested, I will give the direction to open the highways, toll booths, free of cost to the commuters during the period of the storm. Airports Authority of Jamaica, important for those of you who might be planning to leave. Emergency protocols are fully activated at Jamaica's international airports in preparation for Tropical Storm Melissa. At Sangster International Airport, MBJ Airports Limited has implemented pre-hurricane measures, including drainage and tree clearing, testing of generators with a 36-hour fuel reserve, and positioning of emergency supplies. At Norman Manley International Airport, PACAL has directed stakeholders to secure assets and complete drain cleaning, structural checks, and power system tests. Both airports will expedite reopening once safety is confirmed, with updates shared through official bulletins, social media, and coordination with airlines and government partners. So the question that is being asked out there, is there a possibility of the airports being closed? So I made sure to clarify that with the airports authority. The minute that a hurricane warning, not a watch, a warning has been issued, it is likely that the airports will close within 24 hours. It is not a must that both of them will be closed at the same time. It's all dependent on the tracking of the storm or the hurricane and the elements in terms of the locations of the two airports, which are obviously on the sea. So for right now, airports remain open, and the only time that we will move to close the airports will be if the Met Office issues a hurricane warning. If that was to be predicted or projected, that would probably be sometime tomorrow into Saturday. So sometime between tomorrow evening and Saturday day. But best thing is to monitor, and the hurricane warning is the trigger. So let's end my briefing on JPS. JPS has reported to me that they have fully activated the command centers under the new incident command system and placed overseas line workers on standby, with 31 of them already in Jamaica for pre-storm preparations. To boost resilience, critical control and telecom sites now have 48-hour backup power and new Starlink systems for communication continuity. The company has expanded its fleet with over 115 specialized vehicles to enhance post-storm response. Vegetation management and grid reinforcement have been intensified, especially in key transmission areas across western and eastern parishes. JPS is coordinating closely with national agencies and utilities to ensure safe access and timely and consistent customer updates. So this is welcome news to me, and it obviously is as a result of our experiences of Beryl. So I want to say that I can see that the JPS is being proactive, and I see Mr. Hugh Grant here, and I know he and I will be having several conversations between now and whenever the event, as I know that he would not like for he and I to have the same words that I had last year, this time with Beryl. I'm going to ask him to say a few words. You want to wait until after Minister Samura? You can do now. And just to say to JPS, I know that you are doing tree line clearing, and I know I have reported already that some of your contractors, who I'm sure are being paid to remove the debris, are finding the easiest way, which is the gullies across Jamaica, which are only going to make matters worse for us. So I'm asking you, please, sir, as a matter of duty today, to make sure that those areas are inspected and satisfactorily signed off by JPS, and not rely on those contractors who have a habit of finding the shortest route to make the best and the most money. Zero tolerance. So, ladies and gentlemen, based on what I have told you here, I think the most important update is that of the JPS, and I am confident that we will manage, if necessary, much better than we manage based on the lessons we all learned coming out of Beryl. And you can rely on this administration and my colleague ministers and myself to be vigilant and to hold those accountable and responsible for an efficient response in all areas. Thank you. You want to say something, you?
That's the kind of partnership we're going to have. Thank you. I appreciate that.
Didn't get me, eh?
Good morning, everyone. Good to be here and appreciate you all. Yes, I could get you many. So as you heard, Minister Vaz said, JPS stands ready and prepared to respond to the storm. Let me start by saying a tremendous thanks for the partnerships with many key stakeholders that as a result of that has positioned us very well. I want to say special thanks to my partners in terms of my fellow utilities. I see Stephen Price here, I see Kevin here, and I also know the other Stephen Morad. We have been in several conversations. I also want to say special thanks also to National Water Commission. I see Minister Samuda here, along of course with Kevin, who we have been partnering on multiple fronts. We have also been partnering with the National Works Agency. So thanks to that also for the partnerships and many other partnerships, including the hospitals, whereby Minister Tufton and his team. So frankly, JPS has had a renewed approach in regards to storm response. And in the interest of time, I'll just share a few things that I consider, frankly, game-changing in terms of how we approach storms. Let me start by saying, in regards to our new incident command structure, we implemented a new incident command structure post-burial. And what does that do for us? One, it streamlines communication by having clear roles and responsibilities for our personnel. The other key thing that it does is it has an arm that's a liaison arm to communicate with key stakeholders. So what does that look like for us? We have an arm that's dedicated to the municipal corporations, whereby there we'll be getting the window and the lens of what's happening locally within the various parish councils and their disaster response and emergency agencies, bring that into our incident command to inform our response. I want to make a special call out to Minister Mackenzie for his support of his initiative, and we have been working tirelessly with his team around this. Frankly, we have exercised this in early November with the passage of Tropical Storm Raphael. It worked well, and we'll only continue to build on that. The other key thing that liaison arms does is it also establishes window into what's happening with our telecom and also the water space. There again, we'll be having daily calls with these key entities in terms of what are you seeing, what are your priorities, and ensure that it's prioritized and aligned with our response. So that heightened stakeholder engagement, that heightened transparency, that heightened communication, I think will serve us very well and be game-changing. The other thing that we did is, before the storm arrived, we have mutual aid resources. So we have boots on the ground right now that we brought in from our peer Caribbean utilities to help in regards to line workers and storm response. So we are expecting in the order of 60 additional line workers to augment and bolster our internal workforce. Just by order of magnitude, that's upward of 30%. That right there is game-changing. That is what best in class looks like. We're not waiting on a storm to arrive, wait until the aftermath, and then determine resources. We have preemptively utilized our models, brought boots on the ground from day one, so once it is safe to do so, we will be out there responding. We have also activated our incident command structure, whereby we're going to be working 24/7, non-stop, to safely and timely restore power to our customers. We're going to have very open and transparent communication, and we're going to be aligned around the priorities of ODPEN and other key stakeholders to ensure that we get the lights back on as safely and as quickly as possible. With all that being said, let us be frank. We have faced multiple weeks of significant rainfall. What does that mean for us? The ground is saturated. Saturated ground combined with increased rainfall in the order of what I'm hearing, 6 to 12 inches, plus wind sustained in the order of 50 miles per hour, increases the likelihood of power outages. So I'm standing here to let you know the lights are going to go out. So let us plan for the lights going out. With that being said, we are committed, we are positioned, we are resourced, and we stand ready to respond. I also have confidence in the work that we have done in regards to our infrastructure improvement. Minister Vaz mentioned the intentional focus on vegetation management. Frankly, we have changed our strategy around vegetation management. We were being more intentional in removing trees. Before, there was a strategy of having covered conductors in the vicinity of trees. But what we saw is that works well on a blue sky day. However, during storms, what happens? The tree falls. Where does it fall? Into your line. So we're removing the vegetation, and we have done that. We have done over 7,000 kilometers of lines, way ahead of our targets for this year. With that being said, I kindly take the minister's feedback in terms of an opportunity for us to do a better job and hold our contractors accountable with the cleanup that has not gone unnoticed. I'll take that back, and we'll redouble our efforts in that regard. The other thing that we have done is we have increased our spend in regards to our infrastructure and the rollout of smart devices. What does that look like? We have partnered with the Ministry of Health, Minister Tufton and his team, where we now have smart devices on priority circuits supplying hospitals. What does that mean? We have devices that can sense outages, and automatically transfer to other circuits, thereby restoring power. We have also partnered with Minister Samuda and his team, where we have prioritized circuits that are feeding critical water pumps. One such thing is in Logwood on the west, where a critical pump supplying the entire western area. We have reinforced the grid, we have enhanced our veg management, and we have open communications to these facilities. That would help us to have a much better response. The other thing that we have done is created more visibility around the grid, whereby we have rolled out our smart meters. With that, I'm going to close by saying, safety is our North Star. And the safety of the members of the public, the workers, and all who are out there responding is of ultimate and utmost importance to us. That would guide us in what we do each and every day, and we stand united with all to share and respond. Thank you very much. I appreciate you all.
Thank you. You can say a last word.
I can say he could have summed it up by saying easily that he got my memo from last year.
Thank you, and thank you, Minister Vaz. Thank you to you from JPS, and I can assure Jamaica that Minister Vaz has your back. We know that last year it did not go well, and I know last year I hosted the prep meetings before the storm, and everybody said all the right things, and it didn't go as planned. And I know Minister Vaz is going to make sure that things go better than they did last year. We are now going to hear from the other telecom provider that's really, really important and Jamaica wants to hear from, and that's the NWC. And with us, we have Kevin Carr, the acting head of the NWC, who will come forward to do a quick presentation.
Thank you, Minister. Morning, everyone. Especially morning to my NWC team members who are committed and working hard to ensure that the plans that I will be presenting here today, we actually put them in place to ensure water is supplied before, during, and after the passing of Melissa. So today, my presentation will be in 4 parts. I'll provide some context, preparedness measures, and our public communication support. And I will close by reinforcing the team and the NWC commitments. Although the 2025 Atlantic hurricane season has thankfully been less active than initially predicted, the National Water Commission remains on full alert. With Tropical Storm Melissa now developing in our region, we continue to take every precaution to safeguard our systems, our staff, and the communities we serve. As Jamaica's main supplier of potable water and provider of wastewater treatment services, the NWC recognizes how critical it is to maintain water and wastewater services before, during, and after any major weather event. Next, we will share what we at NWC have been doing to ensure we are prepared. From the beginning of this year hurricane season, we activated our hurricane preparedness and response plan, ensuring that systems, personnel, and communication channels are in place to respond swiftly and effectively. Our priorities remain clear: to protect the safety of our employees, infrastructure, and critical assets. And second, to guarantee continued access to safe drinking water and wastewater services for more than 540,000 customers across Jamaica. Next, I will share our current state of readiness for Tropical Storm Melissa. With the development of Tropical Storm Melissa, the NWC has moved into heightened state of readiness. Key actions include: all hurricane response team members have been briefed and placed on high alert. Managers have met with their parish disaster committees to continue local actions. Heavy equipment, including water trucks and backhoes, has been prepared or placed on standby in regions where contractors' support may be required. Private providers of standby generators have also been engaged in case additional capacity is required. Field teams have been equipped with protective gear such as water boots, rain cloaks, and flashlights. In St. Thomas, pipelines located in landslide-prone areas that crosses rivers have been temporarily removed to prevent them from being washed away during heavy rainfall. Open trenches at work sites are currently being reinstated ahead of the bad weather and will be revisited for inspection and repair immediately after the passing. Storage levels are being filled and secured to support post-storm recovery. Teams are on standby to close off intakes such as yalas to prevent silting and blockages. Vehicles have been fueled and positioned on higher ground to in-flood-prone parishes. Our offices are ready to safeguard computers and critical files are needed. Private water truckers have been engaged to ensure hospitals, prisons, and other essential facilities have access to water after the storm. The NWC has established working groups with our key partners, JPS, the NWA, the municipal corporations, to ensure there's access and continuity in service after the passing. All existing water restrictions have been lifted to allow our customer to store water out of bad weather. In the Western region, particular attention has been given to the Great River Water Treatment Plant, which serves Greater Montego Bay and its environs. This facility is often challenged with high turbidity during heavy rainfalls. In preparation for the coming weather, the intake at the Great River was taken out of operation for a new, more efficient pump to be installed. We have commissioned back in operation the full capacity of Great River Water Treatment plant last night, and our customers should gradually see improvement in service as of this morning. Next, I will share our public communication and support. The NWC also began sharing hurricane and tropical storm safety tips across our social media platforms and websites to help customers prepare and stay informed. We encourage the public to rely on these official channels for accurate, timely updates and advisories. And finally, the NWC remains committed to public safety, service continuity, and operational resilience. We extend sincere thanks to all our dedicated teams across the island who continue to work tirelessly to keep water flowing and wastewater systems functioning under challenging conditions. We urge everyone to stay safe, follow the instructions of the national authorities, and continue to conserve water as we monitor the progress of Tropical Storm Melissa. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Carr. Our last speaker will be Minister Samuda for today. We're going to be taking a lot of questions right after Minister Samuda. Everybody who is here in the audience can answer questions from the media. And so we'll get to that very quickly. So over to you, Minister Samuda.
Thank you, Minister. Allow me to acknowledge Minister Desmond McKenzie, who is joining us online, and thank him for the leadership he has been displaying since we've been under threat with the storm. Allow me to acknowledge all colleague ministers, permanent secretaries, heads of agency, indeed members of the utilities who have joined us. See JPS, Flow, Digicel, and of course, NWC. I started yesterday by reminding folks that the situation is indeed serious. As at 8 a.m., as you would have heard, we would have moved to a tropical storm warning and to a hurricane watch. Now, as we said yesterday, that means it is indeed time not to panic. It is in time to plan. What you would have heard thus far is that planning has indeed been underway since Hurricane Beryl last year, under the leadership of Prime Minister Andrew Holness and indeed Minister Desmond McKenzie. All of our disaster risk management systems are indeed in place, and we've been working seamlessly together with him through the Met Service. So the first thing I'd like to highlight and bring to the country's attention is that, yes, we are aware and have taken recommendations and indeed some fair criticism that we have some work to do on the communication protocols from Met Service. So over the coming 24 hours, you'll see significant improvement in communication of exactly what is happening, as we know there's a fair bit of anxiety within the society. But in that communication, we are encouraging, as Minister Tufton did, that members of the public stick to official sources. The official sources will be the Met Services website and indeed social media accounts, the ODPEM website and social media accounts, the Office of the Prime Minister website and social media accounts, Ministry of Education, Youth, JIS, Ministry of Water. Doesn't quite have a website yet, but certainly we have social media accounts. But the broader point is that we're encouraging all members of the public, regardless of what your concern is, whether it's just general anxiety or it is helping you to plan for your business, helping you to plan for your households, helping you to plan for your communities, stick to the official sources of information. The storm is moving particularly slowly with its frontward movement. Now, that is the case now. It may not be the case in a few hours. It may not be the case tomorrow. So we encourage persons to stick to the bulletins that are distributed by the Met Service every few hours and to be attentive and to take heed. Minister McKenzie would have encouraged all of the citizens living in flood-prone areas to be particularly attentive to notices that will come from the police, from the fire brigade, and indeed from ODPEM. We want to again remind citizens that we have brought on all of our early warning systems that do help to feed information to relevant agencies through WRA, monitoring our riverbeds, and indeed NEPA with their early warning systems so that we're able to track what is happening. What you're seeing, Minister Dixon, I believe, is the coming together of all the relevant stakeholders. We will continue to update you through the day, through the night. Our teams are working now 24 hours a day. We are providing the necessary information to all stakeholders, but be very keenly attentive because it can change in a moment's notice. As we are aware, we continue to thank our partners, certainly the National Hurricane Center in the United States. We also want to specially mention the United Nations Country Office, which has already reached out to us to provide additional support. And in closing, Minister Dixon, I did speak to Deputy Prime Minister Chang before entering, and he did ask me to also assure citizens, especially business owners, that security arrangements are indeed in place should we be affected by the storm, to ensure that public order is indeed maintained. But he will provide much greater detail at an appropriate time should it become necessary. So thank you, Minister Dana Dixon, and thank you, stakeholders.
All right, thank you very much, Minister. You'd have heard from several ministers and some entity heads today. We do have, I'll remind the media that we do have with us Digicel and Flo. They're both here and ready to take questions from you, as well as I see JUTC. JPS is still here. You can ask your questions of JPS too. Petrojam is here, and many other agencies are here. Airports authorities here too. You heard from Minister Vaz in relation to when airports may close, and as you heard, it was if we have a hurricane warning. So I'm going to be, ODPEM is also here. ODPEM is ready to take your questions, and I hope you will direct some questions there so that Mr. Thompson can answer. And online we have Minister Mackenzie. So if you have any questions of anyone who is here, please ask them now. And I'm going to hand over to Rasheen Nangle to ask the questions.
Good morning, everyone. Just a gentle reminder, we're asking persons who have their questions to please stand, state your name and the entity you're from. Thank you. Good morning again, everyone. My name is Alia Bryant with Television Jamaica. My two questions. In the event that our hospitals and health centers get overwhelmed, the public ones that is, have any arrangements been made for our private health organizations to assist? And also, will the NWSC be suspending reconnection bills for communities that will be affected by the storm or hurricane?
All right, thank you. So who wants to take questions? Minister Samuda, you want to take one part? I know PS Green, you'll take the second part. So you can come forward when you're ready.
So it is standard practice for the NWC to suspend disconnections during a period of national turbulence, as this would be. I also want to remind folks, as I should have in my presentation, to pay keen attention to NWC's updates as it relates to water quality, as post-storms you will have challenges from time to time. So follow the Ministry of Health's boil water notices, and certainly follow NWC's notices if there's turbidity or siltation that is over and above usual levels. So,
all right, thank you, Minister of Health. And just introduce yourself to Jamaica.
Thank you very much. So I'm Dr. Nicole Dawkins-Wright, and I'm the Director for the Emergency Operations Center in the Ministry of Health and Wellness. As it relates to our capacities and our linkages, should we become overwhelmed? So over years, we would have built a very strong relationship with our private providers and health systems. So if it becomes necessary that we need to, in fact, move or transfer some of our patients to private care, we have some arrangements in place, and we will initiate those SOP, those standard operating procedures.
All right, thank you very much for those questions.
Good morning, everyone. Mahiri Stewart, Nationwide News here. My question to the Telecoms, Energy, and Transport Ministry, I guess, would be, in terms of the OUR and their regulation of the providers, how much confidence is there in the OUR to properly govern the providers in the response to the storm?
All right. Met now. I saw the PD here before. I don't see her here now. Is she here? Okay, here she is, Madam PD. She's going to come and respond to that question. Do you have another one, or that's the only one? That's okay. All right. And she's very capable of answering any question.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Minister. Thank you very much, and good morning. The Ministry is confident that the Office of Utilities Regulation is positioned and poised to continue and to increase its regulation of utility providers. As you would have heard Minister Vaz earlier, we would have had significant discussions post-burial as to the expectations that we have not only for utility providers but also our regulator. And we are confident that with the information that they have shared thus far and the measures they put in place and the experience from last year, that they will be in a position to monitor post-burial interaction or activity from both the telecommunication providers and in particular JPS, I know which have been a concern, but you'd have heard Mr. Grant already and Minister Bass. So we remain confident, and I know the Minister has the Director General of OUR on speed dial should anything be required.
All right, thank you. Your next one.
Yes, so my second question is to JPS as well as the other providers such as Digicel and Flow. Well, to JPS specifically, we know that post Hurricane Beryl last year, there was a lot of controversy in terms of the bills that people received post restoration efforts. There are a lot of discrepancies. Some people were saying that they were charged too high. In terms of the protocol for charging Jamaicans after a storm, what's done to determine those bills, and how will it be done if we are negatively affected by this storm that's coming now?
All right, we'll let JPS respond. And I think Flo has indicated they'll also respond right after.
Good morning. Thanks for that question. So in regards to the bills, I will say, as I mentioned earlier this year, JPS completed 100% rollout of our smart meters. Smart meters have are digital meters with a high level of accuracy. So one of the things that's a change right now is, as a result of that smart meter rollout, we will now be able to very clearly and accurately have insights in terms of the consumptions. Prior to having smart meter rollout, we'd have to actually go ahead and have meter readers physically go out there and read the meters. And sometimes during a storm, that is not possible. By having smart meters and that communication being reported back to us, we will now have more accuracy and visibility actually into what's happening with the bills. In full transparency, I will say some of the potential pressures that a bill has is based on the change in the fuel mix that we have during storms. I just got a report a while ago that the floating storage regasification unit, that's the unit that supplies our liquefied natural gas, due to the threats and the adverse weather conditions, they're going to go ahead and demobilize. What does that mean? We're no longer going to have access to liquefied natural gas at some of our facilities, and unavailability of a particular unit that's only able to burn liquefied natural gas that's controlled by the independent power producers. So what that means for us then is units that are able to burn the alternate diesel oil, those units will burn alternate diesel oil. The reality is that's a more pricey commodity than liquefied natural gas, so that could potentially have upward pressures on the bill. In addition to the reality that now that you have some of the more efficient combined cycle units that are unavailable who would burn gas, you're now burning less efficient units that burn heavy fuel oil, and that could also have upward pressures on the bill. So the reality is, due to the fuel mix, independent power producers being unable to burn alternate diesel oil, and the need to burn less efficient fuel to ensure the security of the grid and what you call security dispatch, there could be potential upward pressure. The good news is we're working with the OUR and other agencies to minimize that potential impact. I'll just close lastly with one thing that says the other thing that happens in a hurricane is that the renewable energy, wind and solar, are significantly curtailed. Curtailment in the order of over 80%. Therefore, in terms of the availability of that, you're talking about less than 20%. So in Jamaica, we have just over 50 megawatts of solar. The expected output during a hurricane, given the cloud cover, is pretty much zero or a little bit above that. So you now are going to have to be running other units that's burning fossil fuel to offset that, to meet the customer demand, and also ensure you have system stability and not a shutdown. Those combined effects in terms of not having availability of liquefied natural gas, the curtailment of renewables leads to potential upward trends in regards to bills and the impact. But we'll work with the regulators and other agencies to see what we can do to soften or minimize that. Hopefully I answered your question.
I think that was a long answer. Hugh Grant, who is the Chief Operating Officer of JPS, just provided his response, and we have with us Stephen Price, Stephen Price, our head of Flow. And I have to say, I really appreciate it, Stephen, for you being here. I know how busy you are. You're the head of a very big entity, and you're here with us today. And so I really appreciate it, and I want to thank you for that.
No problem. Thank you, Jamaica. I'd like to really say and add to that message that from a billing perspective, we believe that we have some very robust billing processes and procedures that have guided us, especially since the storm last year. Now, obviously, we recognize that hurricanes, weather events, emergencies such as this are force majeure events, right? Last hurricane, because of the widespread outages that happened, we did something which was one-off from that perspective in terms of rebates of customers. We now have the kind of robust monitoring and reporting around outages right across the island. So we know exactly who is out, when they're out, how long they're out for. And so as the hurricane progresses, and we watch and we hope, knock on wood, that everything will be okay. But in the event that there is any danger, we'll evaluate, understand exactly just the extent of outages and make some decisions during then. But right now at this point, our bills are accurate. We encourage you to pay your bills, as that's how we do our things, right? And we're going to say to you that we're going to be pausing disconnections over the period of the storm and watch, just to make sure that everybody has access. We know there is always that challenge for the most vulnerable amongst us in terms of the prioritization of expenditure in emergencies because of their emergency supplies, etc. There's a little break coming, but those who can, we encourage you to continue to pay as you do, because that's how we keep the machinery running, right? So thank you very much.
But while you're here,
Sure.
I won't let you go. Say to Jamaica, Flow's readiness, Digicel is going to come up after you. So Flow's readiness for this storm.
No, definitely. We have been at this for years. It's not our first rodeo. And I will say to you, I think this year is probably the best year for us as a combined utility group. I will say to you, we've done our own simulations over the year. We've done regional simulations with other entities. We've done simulations here with JPS, NWC, Digicel, as well as ODPEM. So we are very, very prepared from that perspective. From a power perspective, while we work with our partners, we do have backup supply for about 61% of our mobile sites at this present point in time. So we work hand in hand. We have hardened some of the most vulnerable routes which affected our partners in terms of Digicel, as well as NWC and JPS last year. Taken some of those underground in terms of Mandeville, Porus, Sandy Bay. A number of areas have gone underground in terms of that kind of infrastructure. So it's not aerial anymore, so it's less vulnerable to those kind of challenges. We are ready. Our teams are ready. Our emergency operations center is now open, and that will run 24/7 based at our headquarters. We have our field units. They are staged at the particular locations right across the island to respond at a moment's notice. Once we get the all clear, and that's a very important point, I want to make sure that everybody understands. We're governed under the National Disaster Risk Management practices and processes. When ODPEM provides the all clear to the country, that's when we are able to go out and understand and inspect what is happening and make those assessments. JPS, NWC, Digicel, we're no different. We have to make those assessments at that point in time. And yes, we are a human organization as well. Our people have families. So we also have to take into consideration those things as well as we continue to restore. But at the same time, once we get the all clear, we'll start the assessment period. That normally takes between 24 to 48 hours in terms of getting the first assessments. But what we commit to based on the communications that we've had and the discussions with our Digicel, JPS, NWC, we will start to do and make sure that we have the quick wins first and foremost, but we will keep the nation informed. That is a guarantee from each and every one of us as utility providers that we will make sure this nation stays connected to the things that matter the most. your families, your friends, your people, your loved ones. Thank you so much.
All right, thank you very much. You've heard from Flo, you've heard some commitments too, to all of you, and now we hear from Digicel. And I know you have another role, you know, but you're here as Digicel today.
Yes, good morning, everyone. Brittany Clark, Public Relations Manager for Digicel. So we echo your sentiments. Thank you so much. And again, we appeal to the public just to ensure that you continue to keep us updated, give us all the information that you need to get your services restored, and of course, stay tuned to our channels where we'll provide all accurate updates in a timely manner. So when it comes to bills, as it addressing your question, we know that, of course, during our weather events, any natural disaster, safety and connectivity are our priorities as telecoms providers. So it's always ensuring that we do the necessary assessments, especially post-storm, to ensure that our customers are treated fairly. So, you know, we don't want to see any exorbitant bills, especially where there are prolonged service disruptions. So while our billing systems will continue, as Mr. Price would have said, of course, we do want to ensure that we review and make any necessary adjustments and credits where necessary. So if we have to provide any write-offs, any credits towards the bill payments, etc., we will implement those measures where necessary. Our goal is necessary to keep the public connected. Telecoms, it's essential. Contacting service providers, contacting the emergency responders, we need to keep persons up and running. So we too want to add that Digicel has strengthened our resiliency. We are relentless in staying up to date with our customers. So 24/7, we have several helplines available. We have our new WhatsApp line, which was implemented, and our AI bot is available to serve. That number is 876-355-5000. We also have our main line 619-5000 as well as 100, and our Ruby available via the My Digicel app. Now, as well, we want to ensure that our generators are up and running. We've added additional backups. So we have generator systems. We have our solar project, which is well underway. So we are ready as well to serve our customers during this time. But just to iterate rather, Digicel will monitor the network and billing systems closely to ensure accuracy and fairness. Our backup power, data, redundancy, and system checks are all in place. So everything is accurate at this time, and we will ensure that, especially post-storm, we do the necessary assessments and address customer concerns. But we are ready, and again, we too are appreciative of the partnership with all our utility providers. Also to add, vandalism is a problem that we continue to face. So we want to again echo the sentiments that, please, these are essential services. So continue to take care of them because we help to take care of you. So again, we join. We know Flo is also on board to support, but we join to say, guys, please do not damage our equipment because it causes more damage in the long run. So please, let's stand together. And if you see something, please say something. But Digicel is ready, and we thank you.
Thank you. All right. Digicel says they are ready too. Do we have any other questions from the media? No other questions? Going once, going twice. And it is now gone. Your opportunity is gone. And I want to thank everybody here for really coming and giving the updates that you did. Jamaica is very grateful for it. What it shows is that things have improved over last year. And Hurricane Beryl, we did a pretty decent job in response, but there were some areas that we didn't do as well in. And you hear, and it was so good to hear from JPS, from Flo and Digicel, and also including ODPEM in terms of the work that had been done and NWC in making sure that we're in a better position this time around. We will be continuing with our press briefings. We will have discussions with ODPEM and the Met Service. We may need to do another press briefing tomorrow morning. Our goal as government is to keep you informed right along the way. So please, as you've heard, listen to the official channels. That's where you should get your information from, not a weird person on any social media platform. You listen to the ministers here, you go to official GIS, you go to the Office of the Prime Minister, and you go to the Ministry of Environment and Climate, Water and Climate Change. That's where you're going to get your information, and ODPEM is the lead. ODPEM leads all of us in our response, and so you go to ODPEM first, and then you can see what everybody else is saying. And so you've gotten more information. The Met Service reminded me to say to you that if you have not yet started to prepare for Tropical Storm Melissa, you need to do so now. Again, if you've not started, you need to do so now. And so, as always, we pray for Jamaica. We pray that God will spare us the worst of this storm or hurricane. But as we pray to God, we know God wants us to do what we can to prepare. And so we're doing as best as we can in government. We're giving you information, and we ask that you do the same preparations for your families. But always never forget those who are not able to help themselves, those who are elderly, those who may not have family. Please look out for your brothers and sisters in this country. We are in this together, and we will get through this together. And so until we meet again, which will probably be tomorrow, as always, I say, God bless all of you, and God bless Jamaica, land we love. Thank you.
There you have it. You just had a live press conference from Jamaica House tropical storm Melissa. We are having some videos coming into us, all from all over Jamaica, but there is a system glitch here that is affecting us here with our live feed. But I will do what I can to get the videos to you. This is the first video, I think.
The residents of Edgewater, especially along the Michelle Crescent area where the drain run, the resident build beyond their boundary and build on the drain reservation and also on the drain wall that was there. However, the Portmore Municipal Council have begun to serve notice on them because a lot of those drains collapse and block the free flow of water and causing flooding within the Edgewater community.
Two fences fall down at the gully, and each time the rain falls, there's a blockage. So it intends to flood the two roads, going inside of the houses and so forth.
You have some drains that run in between the homes, and what the residents have done is to build on the drain reservation and also on the drain wall. So we are going through all these communities, and we will be serving notices on them.
Hearing about the weather now are going to come. Yeah. So we're trying now to come together as community members and clear it.
Drain cleaning started from early as April, and it's an ongoing thing within the municipality. And we have our equipment on standby just in case we have any major flooding. We have equipment on standby where we can release those blockages if needs be.
Now tell me something now. Why we as Jamaicans, when we're building, common sense must prevail. If there's a drainage behind the back of our premises, this is the wall. Why you want to build your wall on top of the drainage system? There's a drainage system wall, you know. You're going to build on top of the drainage system wall? That makes absolutely no sense. It makes absolutely no sense. I don't know. We have another video that we want to show you. Hopefully we can. With the newly minted member of parliament for Western Westmoreland, Mr. Ian Hales. This is what he had to say. Oh no, this is Sandy Gully. Oh, this is Sandy Gully. Cleaning the Sandy Gully. Clean the Sandy Gully. Oh, look at the Sandy Gully. Look nasty. And they have been cleaning the Sandy Gully from when? They have been cleaning the Sandy Gully from when? And every year, at this time of year, taxpayers spend millions of dollars to clean these drains, and they continue dumping the drains with all sorts of debris. We can't blame government for all of this, you know, but we blame ourselves. That's the Sandy Gully. I think they had cleaned that. Let us see if we can get another video into us to see what's going on around Jamaica. I won't be staying too long on this because I have other things to do. But let me see if I can get this here. I think this is Westmoreland.
Meteorologist Brian Shields. It is Thursday, October 23rd, 2020.
No, I don't want that. I've done that already. Let me figure out something here. So we can get all the videos that we have up to show you. That's not what I want because we have shown you that already. Let me go into something else here. Come out of that, go into this. Let's see if we can get some of the videos that we have put up to show you all what is going on in Jamaica as we speak. We're asking people, our family members down there, to please. What's a Sandy Gully bridge? Sandy Gully. Part of the Sandy Gully. Let us get the one from Westmoreland, where a newly minted member of Parliament, Ian Hales, is speaking out this afternoon that he has not gotten help from government to really assist them in cleaning gullies in Negril. Well, drain is in Negril, not gully. Drain is in Negril. And that should not be. I think this is it right here. Yes, it is. Just a moment here, please. Let us get it up to you. We can get to show you. For those who are just joining us, we're just giving you a preview of what is going on in the cleanup of Jamaica. And why do they wait until appointed time to clean all of these drains and gullies and all these things? You know, over the years, government have been doing all of these things. You know. They wait until the appointed time. I have been around long enough to see that the two political parties, they wait until the appointed times. If one is in power, it's the same thing. The other one is in power, is the same thing. And when I speak, when I tell the truth on these things, people vex with me. They keep on waiting until the appointed time to do these things, man. And that should not be. That should not be at all. Let me see if I can get this video to show you where newly minted member of Parliament, Mr. Ian Hales, is speaking out. Speaking out. Listen to this. Just a moment here, please.
Started to pound some parts of the island, even as residents continue to prepare for the onslaught of what is expected to be Hurricane Melissa come this weekend. Krista Campbell has a rural roundup.
Working in the rain. Last-minute efforts to clean drains along the Negril Beach Road, which is one of the commonly flooded areas of Westmoreland. Hoteliers are said to be leading the charge to have the work done to boost protection for their own properties.
I didn't get $1 from government to clean one drain. I'm here with somebody, the chairman for the Little London Division.
You hear what Member of Parliament for Western Westmoreland is saying? Mr. Ian Hales? Not $1 he got from government to clean the drains. Listen to this.
Mr. Ewing, he has volunteered his backhoe to help the citizens.
Overseeing the work in the Western Westmoreland constituency, Member of Parliament Ian Hales expressed disappointment with the way Parliament has responded to the pending disaster.
I had to leave the Parliament of the land and come down and tell every citizen in Western Westmoreland that I have no money for drain cleaning, I have no money for washing, and I have no money to fix the road, to repair the road. And it is sad, the Jamaican people not into this foolishness anymore. When the flood rain come or the hurricane come, it don't go to greenhouse or it go to orange house. It goes to every Jamaican house. And I would have liked to see the government place the PNP and the JLP in one room and we come up with one solution in terms of dealing with the flood rain and hurricane that is on its way.
In June of this year, the government would have actually doubled the allocation to the various constituencies for drain cleaning because it was predicted that this hurricane season would have been one of the most active in recent history. So there has been significant work that has taken place.
He's urging residents of flood-prone areas like McNeil Lands to
move when they tell you to move. It doesn't make any sense for us to lose one life.
Wow. There you have it. Member of Parliament for Western Westmoreland, Ian Hales, is speaking out this afternoon. But my thing is this. Why do we have to wait until another impending hurricane? I'm going to say something this afternoon on this platform here. And people don't vex with me, but quite frankly, I don't care. Some of the Jamaicans too damn nasty. Some of us Jamaicans who live along the gully bank in Kingston, along the sandy gully, who live there, we're too nasty. Some of you who live up Mannings Hill Road where the gully is, we throw all kind of sitting in the gully and expect that government must clean it at all times. A phone of money they clean. No believe say Desmond McKenzie money cleaning it. Andrew Holness money. A phone of money they clean it. No nasty. And when the gully overflow, now no blame everybody. Blame on yourself. We're too damn nasty in this country, man. I think of no government. But the truth is the truth. We're too nasty. You know, here they say, but government provide no garbage bin for no lie. When I was living in Jamaica down at Maho Drive, where Roots FM is, when I go down there on the radio station, I personally went to Member of Parliament Angela Brown Burke, because she took over from Portia Simpson Miller. And they brought a skip, in other words, a garbage thing there, to put garbage in. And some of the people in Maho Drive don't put the garbage in, they fling it on the ground. We're nasty in this country. Some of the Jamaicans too damn nasty. We don't expect them to dump in the gully. And when government clean it, and Desmond McKenzie money, Andrew Holness money, and phone money, all of us money. We're nasty as hell. We're nasty. I'm not going to say some of the drains are not clean. They must clean the drains too. But some of the nasty who live on the gully banks. We're nasty. And we must not wait. We must not wait as Jamaicans. During the year, when January starts, we must protect, we must have emergency things in preparation. We can have an earthquake, we can have a tsunami. We must have all those things in preparation. But when a hurricane comes, we have all our little passport and this in our Ziploc bag. We live too carefree, man. Some of it too nasty. We don't like when I talk, we don't go on somewhere else, but the truth is the truth. We're too nasty. Now, when it come on to people to get money for go clean drains and fix road, government and a phone of money and Andrew Holness are the people's money, and they must get it for go clean up the garbage and fix the roads. We're too nasty. If they listen to me, if they clean the sandy gully January, take us out telling them by April the gully nasty again. By April the gully nasty up again. Because we're too damn nasty in this country. Not like when I talk, when you can go on somewhere else. And me not put my motor ground and talk. We nasty. We're nasty in this country. We Jamaicans, some of it too nasty. And some of the people who live at Upper St. Andrew are nasty too. Some of them live at Upper St. Andrew and Beverly Hills are nasty no hell. On the jump some things up, that's why the river, the water run, the carry come down in the gully. All up a St. Andrew, Norbrook and them place there. Uno nasty up there too. But the fact of the matter is, we must, the ending of a hurricane season, we must get ourselves prepared for the next hurricane season or get ourselves prepared for any disaster. Any disaster at all. We must put our passport, our birth certificate, our land papers, all of those papers in a Ziploc bag, put them in a nice area. When you say, okay, hurricane, they come on and know, so then you grab it. If you all have to move go somewhere else, you take it and you go. But somehow we too carefree. In our come, no hurricane, I come at Jamaica, and don't listen to Anthony like this. And the government, and it's not government send hurricane. I hear some people talk, so don't listen to them. I don't want to spend out on the last dime. Come on, people. The Bible states that we must listen to those who are put over us. The Bible says in the message. So if you have a person put over us, yes, them a liar and them what you want to call them. But there is a natural disaster heading to us. We must listen. And who will live on the gully bank, move to higher grounds. Those who live on the sandy gully bank in Kingston, those who live up in Mannings Hill Road and the gully bank, uno move. Do not let these words come out of your mouth if I didn't know. Because in the height of the storm, don't expect police to come moving, you know. Our fire brigade come moving, you know. They're not coming anywhere. So those who lives in flood-thrown areas, those who live on the gully banks, move to higher ground. This thing is not going anywhere. It's coming to us. Unless the good God above decide to shift it away and send Elizabeth again. Send Elizabeth again, not get the whole brunt of it again. Send it, the whole brunt of it again. It might reach up to a category 5 by now, or category 3, category 4 by now on Saturday. Take this thing seriously. The shelters, hold on for me. Let me see where the shelters are. Because last year, Andrew said one thing for CNN, Matthew said another thing for CNN, and Deadman said another thing for CNN. So we don't know who to believe. Well, like how Desmond is overseas now, maybe he can give the accurate thing because he's overseas. He can go to CNN and say, no man, I that did it. Let me see if I can find out where the shelters are. Hold on for me. Let me see if I can find out where the shelters are. Stand by, please. Stand by. Let me find out and see if I can find where the shelters are. Apparently, the jurors slapped down Wildman appeal for pursue of Reed Pinnock fraud trial. Let me figure out something. I need to find out. Let me go over to hold on there. Let me see if I can get it. JIS. where the shelters are. Hold on for me, people. But Jamaicans Jamaicans in Jamaica, please do not take this thing lightly. For those who have access, okay, I'm not finding where the shelters are. Apparently, it has not been listed as yet. I'm going to go to Desmond Mackenzie website. Local government. Another news coming in, a member of the JCF has been hospitalized as a vehicle overturned in Mandeville a short while ago. Okay, there is something else I know I wanted to show you guys. Hold on there for me. I'm still looking for the thing where the shelters are. I am still looking. Bear with me, please. Bear with me, please. I'm still looking. I know you guys may want to go, but somebody said I shouldn't send out the Let me see if I can find it. I don't know, but I'll figure out something here. I don't know if they had issue or they have published the shelters, but it's true. We should have, we should be able to tell the people where the shelters are. We should be able to tell people where the shelters are. I guess I have to wait until later on this evening, because I'm coming on this evening to speak to former Jamaican Ambassador Curtis Ward about the growing tension in the Caribbean, because the tension in the Caribbean is getting worse. Let me figure out something here. I don't know if I can find it. I've been searching for it, but let me say something here. Let me show you that a couple of hours ago, this was what's going on in Westmoreland. Here is this video. Westmoreland, rain coming. Listen to me. If they haven't published their shelters, I can't find them. So out of 800 shelters, you can't find 10. I don't see where they publish it. So I don't know where they are. And I'm not going to give anybody any misinformation over here. I honestly do not know where they are. I don't see where they publish it. So if you can find where they publish it, then send it to me. But I haven't seen it. I have not seen it. Well, this video you're seeing here is straight from the Jamaica Observer. That is in Westwood. Well, I appeal to all Jamaicans. It is now 12:47, 11:47 in Jamaica. Let us see if we can get the 11 o'clock advisory. So let us see if he can, if we can get the 11 o'clock advisory from the National Hurricane Center. What is going on here? Here. Sorry. There's a video circulating on social media with a Chinese national and a Jamaican national. Okay, hold on a while for me. Let me figure out something. I'm trying to get something here that you guys I can give you guys some information. Lord, WEA Weather Jamaica. Okay, here we go. Let me see something here.
All the while producing, believe it or not, very heavy rainfall hundreds of miles away from the center on the eastern side. So parts of the eastern Dominican Republic even, and over in Puerto Rico.
Let me show something here from Facebook that is being sent to us. I can't find none of the they have not listed any of the shelters that I can say, okay, shelters are in XQYZ. I can't find it. I don't know what is going on here. I don't know. I mean, I'm trying to figure out where I can get it. But there's a video that I need to show the audience here that was put up by Weather Report. Okay, I understand. You're being here. Okay. Sorry about that. But let's see if we can do it this way here. But Jamaicans, we need to take this thing seriously. Tell your family members to take this thing seriously. Very seriously. Okay. Let me figure out if I can get this thing to come up.
All the while producing, believe it or not, very heavy rainfall hundreds of miles away from the center on the eastern side. So parts of the eastern Dominican Republic even, and over in Puerto Rico, 500 miles away. We're getting some squalls move in, not with a lot of wind, but very heavy rain. And that is interesting because Jamaica is much closer to where the center is, and the weather here is just fine. That tells you something. That tells you that this asymmetry is associated with wind shear in the atmosphere that is limiting the intensification chances, at least for now. That will change, we think, over the coming days. So keep in mind, it's expected to get a lot stronger, but maybe not today. Look, here's some of the conditions in parts of the DR and over in Puerto Rico. Again, the wind, not much of a factor, but certainly showers and thunderstorms and a lot of cumulonimbus cloud activity here just south of the DR. Let me get you a better color right in here. Those are thunderstorms moving northward out of the Caribbean, bringing some heavy rain to the region. Here's just a couple of radars out of Puerto Rico in and around San Juan, showing you that heavy rain showers roll on through. And this has been the case for the last couple of days even. So it continues to rain so far away from the center, particularly on the east side. Whereas again, on the western side of the circulation, the air is relatively clear, just about 50 miles to the west of where the center is, according to the hurricane hunters. Each one of these dots is a fix from the aircraft reconnaissance, indicating where the lowest pressures are, roughly at around 1,006 millibars. Actually, a little bit less than that because there was some wind at about 15 knots or so where those pressures were measured by the drop zone. But look, there's where the estimated center is, the lowest pressure at the surface, and the center of the cyclonic or counterclockwise wind there. We are starting to see some thunderstorms perhaps maybe get more close to and circle those areas, those dots. That would be a sign that perhaps more thunderstorm activity is going to be co-located with that lowest pressure, and that would be a sign of strengthening eventually. Probably not today, but maybe tonight or tomorrow. We'll have to see about that. But it may be a sign that the wind shear that's been affecting Melissa is going to start to weaken soon if it hasn't yet already. Something to watch carefully. So I'm going to animate this day by day real quick just to show you what the European Center's data does, like it has all along. Kept it in the Caribbean through the weekend, and then by early to the middle part of next week brings Melissa potentially as a powerful hurricane right through Jamaica. That's certainly one possibility, and it seems to be joined by quite a few other simulations that kind of possibility of a landfall in Jamaica or eastern Cuba, for that matter, is indeed a possibility. A good one, I think. But there are others out there, even as recent as the 12Z GFS run. If you're familiar with that, that's the most recent morning run from the GFS model. Actually has it making landfall tomorrow night. Saturday night in about 60 hours over Haiti. How about that? Very, very different scenario. And it's supported by some of its ensemble members. Each one of these tracks shows you a like-minded GFS outcome. But it seems to be a model that turns it northward much more quickly than the vast majority of the others that you can look at, including those from the European Center and other hurricane models as well. I think I'm going to leave you with this one. Melissa, from what we can see that's in front of us, which includes a lot of data and a ton of uncertainty, more likely than not makes landfall next week in one of the Caribbean regions, Jamaica potentially, eastern Cuba, and perhaps even extreme western Haiti. That is all on the table right now. There is so much uncertainty. Jen and Alex, you can see it in front of your eyes. You're just going to want to pay attention to this. And regardless, as we mentioned, very heavy rain, impactful conditions, hundreds of miles away from the center that are going to be impacting us for many days yet to come.
There you have it. There you have it. They said it may make landfall in Jamaica. It may hit Jamaica, not may. Based on where it is heading to now, you see right under St. Elizabeth there, the south, on the south part of Jamaica. Beryl hit St. Elizabeth, and it's going to happen again. My God. There's a video I want to show you live from Flatbridge to show you that the water is rising around the gorge where Flatbridge is. Let me show you here that the water level around Flatbridge is rising because, and this is the live feed coming into us. This is a live feed coming into us. Just a moment here, please. Let me get it. There you have it. You can see the water rising. There it is. Trucks are going around, but you can see the water. The water level around the Flatbridge is rising. You see the water is still. That's very deadly. That is very, very deadly. Do not take this thing lightly. This is a live feed. It's not a recording. This is a live feed. It is 12:56 in Jamaica, in the United States, 11:56 in Jamaica. This is a live feed around the Backwalk Gorge in Jamaica, and you can see the flat bridge where the water is rising. This don't look good at all. This do not look good. And let me urge the people of St. Elizabeth. Let me stop this thing here and maybe go into halfway tree next. Let me urge the people of St. Elizabeth, please do not take this lightly. Let us pray for the people of Jamaica, especially the people on the south coast of Jamaica. Let's pray for them. Let us pray for them because this don't look good for St. Elizabeth, Westmoreland, Negril, all those places. It do not look good, and this is something that we all must take seriously. Serious rather, because many of us will say, "Oh, cha, only the chat not now come now." You all cannot say that. We all must not say that. God in His mercy will have His hand on us, and one of these days, God say, "No, show that around. I want to not take heed." Because many of us, all we think about is ourselves. Let me go into Halfway Tree and see what's going on in Halfway Tree. It's a live feed out of Halfway Tree. Let's see what's going on in Halfway Tree. Just a moment here, please. I will let you see it. Just one moment here, please. We're still working and see if we can get the list of the shelters. The list of shelters that people must go to. We are working on it to see if we can get it. Let's see if we can get it. Hopefully we can. We're still working on it, and we're hoping we can get that list there to advertise and tell the people where to go in the case of you have to evacuate, where the shelters are. Okay. Okay, I'm getting a live feed out of Halfway Tree. Just a moment here, please. This is in Halfway Tree, Jamaica. It's a beautiful day in Halfway Tree, come to think of it. Look at the Halfway Tree. It's live out of Halfway Tree in Kingston, Jamaica. Traffic is moving very smoothly where the clock is. And near to where NCB Bank is. Oh, that's Jamaica National, rather. That's where National Commercial Bank is. Sorry. Jamaica National, not National Commercial. That's where Jamaica National is. And as you can see, people moving. Hopefully, they are taking this thing seriously and they're going about getting their preparation. No one better than yard. Look how yard looks sweet. Look how home looking so sweet. All you need in the land of food and water is your money. You have some money, a place to live, and you have an income coming in, you're good to go. You know, there it is. That's the heart of Halfway Tree. Ladies and gentlemen, people, I cannot find the list of where the shelters are. I sent a message to a friend of mine down by GIS.
We're getting some small movement.
Hurricane watch is in effect for the island of Jamaica as Tropical Storm Melissa continues to slowly churn in the Caribbean. The storm is expected.
Are you looking to sell your house as is without the hassle of costly repairs or realtor fees? Then listen up. We're confident in our ability to in just.
Yes, there is a heart of half. I'm trying to get this thing off here. Okay, here we go. Yes, that's halfway tree there. There is an item of news coming into us from the National Environment and Planning Agency, NEPA, is advising persons to undertake the necessary precaution to safeguard their environment, livestock, and other things. To outline, okay, hold on there for a minute. The National Environment and Planning Agency, NEPA, is advising persons to undertake the necessary precaution at this time as the passage of tropical storm Melissa passed south of Jamaica. They're asking individuals to please take the necessary precaution to keep their environment and their homes safe. They're also saying monitor the relevant media houses, and if you're living in a flood-thrown area, when the time comes for you to evacuate, please do so. My thing is this: do not wait until they say you need to leave. I believe that as of today, those who live on the gully bank and those who live in flood-thrown areas, it's time for you to go to higher grounds. It is time for you to take the necessary precaution and go to higher grounds. Some people may say, look there, the sun hot in the country, not come nowhere. In the 1980s, Hurricane Gilbert, or 1988, when Hurricane Gilbert hit Jamaica, the sun was hot like a fire. Hot, 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 hot. And Hurricane Gilbert did come. So I'm asking my fellow Jamaicans who are listening to this broadcast, take this thing seriously. Do not take it lightly. All right? That is in the heart of Halfway Tree. Let me see if I can get a shot of downtown Kingston. Let me see if I can get a shot of downtown Kingston to show you. That's in the heart of Halfway Tree in Jamaica. Let's see if we can get a shot of downtown Kingston. Let me see if I can get a shot of downtown Kingston. See what's going on in the Mecca, in the heart of downtown Kingston. Halfway Tree, West Parade, downtown Kingston. Little London, Westmoreland. Let's go to downtown Kingston, then we go to Little London, Westmoreland. We're going to go to downtown Kingston and show you then Little London, and then we still trying to find the list. Hopefully we can. Still working on trying to find the list to give you the various shelters that you need to go to. All right? We have a live feed of downtown Kingston in Jamaica. A lot of people are saying nothing happened because downtown look hot. Look there. That's the heart of downtown Kingston. And that's a live feed. It's a live feed. It's a live feed of downtown Kingston. The CCC cameras in downtown Kingston that we have tapped into. And that's a live feed of downtown Kingston. And fairly looking, it's not wet at all. It's just, see one of the JUTC buses there. And I don't have a live feed from St. Elizabeth. What I can say is this: that the people of St. Elizabeth, be on the alert, be prepared for anything. My prayers are with them because I have in-laws and family members who live in St. Elizabeth and friends who live there. And I pray and hope that, God in His mercy may turn this away from our beloved island, Jamaica, because we can't take it. We keep on saying this every year. We say we can't take it. Every year we say we can't take it. And yet we're still doing wrong. We're still doing all the wrongs we're doing down there. This don't look good though. But this is the heart of downtown Kingston. Let me go over so I can find a live shot from Little London in Westmoreland. See what's going on at the end. Just a moment here, please. Okay, this is, let me see something here. Oh, yeah. Just a moment here. I have a live shot of Barbican in Kingston. Hopefully we can show you it. All right, this is a live shot of Barbican in Kingston. Yes, the biggest problem is this, that, what happened to the live shot? Can somebody tell what's going on with the live shot here? Okay. The biggest problem is this, that this hurricane is moving 3 miles per hour. And when you see something like that, it's developing, It is developing more than anything else. I don't know what's going on. We're not getting the live shot. I don't know what's going on here, people, but the live feed from Barbican it coming in, but it's not showing on the screen here. Ah. Okay, let's do this. Okay, I don't know what's going on. The live feed to us from Barbican, there is some glitch going on with that. So we're not getting that live glitch, that live feed. So, ladies and gentlemen, people, we're trying to get the list. I'm not getting the list. So what I will do, if anything, I will do a recording, put it up on the YouTube channel if I find it, and just give the name, where the people should go, and also telephone numbers and so forth. That's the only thing I can do, because right now I'm searching for that list. I even went on the Prime Minister's Facebook page to see if I get it. And I'm not getting it at all. Okay. I am not getting it, so. I don't know what's going on. Okay. There is Tropical Storm Melissa. Let me take this from off of here because I'm getting nothing there. Tropical Storm Melissa has been broken down into a large, what? 3 that kill elderly man. What is this? Tropical Storm Melissa has been burning for. Oh, Tropical Storm Melissa has burned down a large tree that killed an elderly man in Haiti. In other words, what they're saying that the winds from Tropical Storm Melissa has blown a tree down and has killed an elderly man in Haiti. Tropical Storm Melissa blamed through the Caribbean, killing an elderly man in Haiti. I'm still not getting what I really want is the list to tell people where to go. Jamaica foreign exchange market. When you want to hear the exchange in Jamaica, listen to this now. The Jamaican dollar has lost 11 cents and open trading selling for an average of $116.28 against the benchmark US dollar. The Jamaican dollar has lost 88 cents and will open selling for an average of $118.72 against the Canadian dollar. And finally, the Jamaican dollar has lost $2.07 and will begin trading this morning for an average of $217.11 against the British pound sterling. The Jamaican dollar is devaluing every single day. The Jamaican dollar is devaluing every single day. I am sorry, but I am not seeing the list of shelters. And this should not be. Let me go back on the Jamaica the JIS website. You think that these people that put up the list long time ago, and you think that these people here who had this press conference would have said, okay, in the case of you need to leave from where you are, the shelters are X, Q, Y, Z. Huh? Team, we want to say happy birthday to Member of Parliament Denise Daly and Chairman for Region 4. That's Member of Parliament Denise Daly celebrating her birthday today. Member Daly, it's a wet day, cold front out. Okay. Tropical storm, a tropical storm warning, tropical watch, which has been intended for Jamaica, has been upgraded to a warning. The island is now under hurricane watch as Tropical Storm Melissa moves slowly across the Caribbean Sea. This means tropical storm condition pose possibility threat to Jamaica within 36 hours, and hurricane conditions are likely to pose a threat within 48 hours. The Met Service says that 4 a.m. the center, what date was this? This was just a while ago. The Met Service said that at 4 a.m. this morning, the center of Tropical Storm Melissa was located about 350 kilometers, 219 miles south-southeast of Morant Point, Kingston, Jamaica, and about 390 kilometers or 440 miles south-southwest of the capital city of Kingston, Jamaica. Melissa is moving slowly towards west, nearly 6 miles an hour, nearly 6 kilometers an hour, or 3 miles per hour. That is what is going on now. This is courtesy of CVM. And it's 8 minutes ago they put out this. I said tropical storm watch, which has been in effect for Jamaica, has been upgraded to warning. The island of Jamaica is now under hurricane watch as Tropical Storm Melissa moves slowly across the central Caribbean Sea. This means tropical storm condition pose a possible threat to Jamaica within 36 hours, and hurricane conditions are likely to pose a threat within 48 hours. The Met Office says that at 4 a.m., the center of Tropical Storm Melissa was located 219 miles south-southeast of Morant Point, Jamaica, or 240 miles south-southeast of Kingston, Jamaica. Melissa is moving slowly towards the west at 3 miles per hour. This do not look or sound good. This do not look good or sound good.
We've done a few things different.
So, as a Jamaican and a concerned Jamaican, I am asking all Jamaicans, all well-thinking Jamaicans, please take this thing seriously. There is something here on the Prime Minister's Facebook page. Hurricane watch and tropical storm warning remain in effect for Jamaica as Melissa tread across the central Caribbean. Hurricane watch and tropical storm warning remain in effect for Jamaica as Melissa trend across the central Caribbean. They can talk all they want talking. I know that when I come on air here, I try to bring the accurate news to the people. So let Dana Morris Dixon chat all she wants chat.
Is New York Attorney General Letitia James announcing a new portal where residents...
She's not talking to me. Talking to herself. She ain't talking to me. Okay. The Minister of National Security, Dr. Harris Chang. Let me do this over. The Minister of National Security and Peace. Because that is added to his portfolio, you know. He's the Minister of National Security and Peace. Is saying that during the patches of tropical storm Melissa, all security personnel are on standby in the event of looting. All security personnel are on standby. The Jamaican Defense Force, the JDF, the Jamaica Coast Guard, the Jamaica Air Wing, all are on standby. And the Governor General will be in a safe and secluded area. I'm going to put in the part there. I'm putting the part there. Hey. The Met Service of Jamaica has upgraded Tropical Storm Watch in effect for Jamaica to Tropical Storm Warning. The Met Office also issued a Hurricane Watch for the island. Hurricane Watch issued for Jamaica. So there you have it. A Hurricane Watch has been issued for Jamaica. I need to get in contact with some people now. So, and also the NWC, the National Water Commission. Hold on, what is this? Yes, the National Hurricane Center in Miami.
We've got some breaking news now. Democrats on the House Judiciary and Oversight Committees have launched a joint investigation into the Trump Department of Justice over President Trump's demand for a reported $230 million payout over past investigations into him and his campaign.
Let's
bring in MSNBC congressional reporter Kevin Fry.
Dylan Brooks, the son of dancehall artist Movado, is once again finally finding trouble with the law. I'm not here again. Mavada's son is once again in trouble with the law.
Tropical storm Melissa is moving west through the eastern Caribbean at around 14 miles per hour, with sustained winds near 50. A hurricane watch is in effect for Haiti, and a tropical storm watch for Jamaica. The storm is feeding on sea temperatures close to 90 degrees Fahrenheit, giving it everything it needs to strengthen. If it stays over open water, it could reach hurricane intensity within the next few days. Rainfall will be the biggest danger. Most areas can expect 4 to 8 inches, but the higher elevations of Hispaniola and Cuba could see more than 20. That amount of rain will cause flash floods, landslides, and long power outages across parts of the region. Winds near hurricane strength will damage structures, uproot trees, and disrupt transport routes. Coastal regions will see heavy surf and flooding as the system moves slowly westward. If Melissa holds together after crossing the Greater Antilles, it could bring rough seas and tropical rains toward the Bahamas or South Florida late this month. The exact track will depend on how quickly it turns north. We will be keeping a close eye on developments and will update when needed.
So there you have it.
Tropical storm Melissa is moving west through the eastern Caribbean at around 14 miles per hour, with sustained winds near 50. A hurricane watch is in effect for Haiti, and a tropical storm watch for Jamaica. The storm is feeding on sea temperatures close to 90 degrees Fahrenheit, giving it everything it needs to strengthen. If it stays over open water, it could reach hurricane intensity within the next few days. Rainfall will be the biggest danger. Most areas can expect 4 to 8 inches, but the higher elevations of Hispaniola and Cuba could see more than 20. That amount of rain will cause flash floods, landslides, and long power outages across parts of the region. Winds near hurricane strength will damage structures, uproot trees, and disrupt transport routes. Coastal regions will see heavy surf and flooding as the system moves slowly westward. If Melissa holds together after crossing the Greater Antilles, it could bring rough seas and tropical rains toward the Bahamas or South Florida late this month. The exact track will depend on how quickly it turns north. We will be keeping a close eye on developments and will update when needed.
There you have it. My fellow Jamaicans and people who are on here from overseas, we're going to say goodbye from now. Join me back this evening when I'll be having more for you. And also join me when I speak to former Jamaican ambassador to the United Nations, Ambassador Curtis Ward. He will be on the platform to speak to us about the growing tension between the United States and Venezuela. He'll be also speaking to us about his take on the political climate in Jamaica and the IC, wherein the media is not allowed to broadcast on the IC with the Prime Minister's court hearing. So we'll be speaking about that this evening at 7 o'clock US time, 6 o'clock Jamaica time. Yes, we'll be on. All right. So join me then. God bless you and thank you all for coming on.
When the game gets rough and this life just seems so tough, make we talk, my people, make we talk. When this town becomes an ugly place, don't let it erase the smile from your face. Make we talk, people, make we talk. Conversation is the key, a guiding light for you and me. Spark a talk and you will see. Conflict solver A to Z. World leaders master the art of self-defense just by talk. So people, make we talk. Hey, we're living in a world that on ourselves we must depend. Make we talk.